I'm playing it for the finals, of course. The mind games that are going into this from Shield are pretty strong. And there we go. There's the Thresh, of course, on the blue side. So we do have Jax open. Jax would be, so would Lee Sin, though, because Swift is so good on that champion.
And Shyvana also open, but Shy may be comfortable just picking that Jax up. Of course, Shy, a very famous longtime Jax player, but decides to take the Shyvana away from Save. Shy also, of course, has a lot of experience with Shyvana.
I think you have to take that Shyvana, actually, in the first pick. Save, of course, is so good at pressuring the map and flanking and getting onto your carries on Shyvana that you really can't let him have that. In any game that has a CJ team, and this NaJin White Shield always turns into who can first pick Shyvana, it seems.
This is true. And the Soraka top lane picks may just become a thing now that people hover over in team selection.
I'm not a big fan because I do think it's very risky to play, especially in a lane swap situation. So it can be a bit of a coin flip, but we haven't really seen a lot of Soraka play from NaJin Shield, and this could be another mind game.
It very well could be. They could be taking this chance to say, all right, well, this is kind of becoming a thing in our match with CJ. Might as well use this chance to throw other teams off, especially Samsung Blue.
I really think they should pick Soraka just because Samsung Blue and Dade play a lot of Soraka, and I think that by selecting Soraka in an early rotation here, they're trying to turn it into a contested pick in the finals, or at least give that impression, which is really strange, but that's what I think is happening right here.
I do like it, though, and the more we see this Monday and then today, a lot of people, including myself, used to think, oh man, it's kind of a bummer that White Shield has to play these two matches before their final, but they're really taking advantage of the pick ban phase on both days.
It's really smart of Shield, actually. And what this could do, especially if NaJin White Shield does well, is bump Soraka up Blue's priority list in the finals. And by doing that, they probably already have some sort of counter in mind, or they're just not worried about it. So they may be trying to bait Blue into wasting an early rotation pick on Soraka and then having that answer already in the pocket.
The mind games are very strong with the White Shield this week. Very excited for not only this game, but perhaps if there are more sets tonight, which there will be at least one more, but if there are one or two more, then excited for that, and also the Champions Final. Twitch and Nami going to be picked up by CJ Frost. Of course, Space, a longtime Twitch player, so that's pretty interesting to see. And Nami being played by Mad Life, so Nami really coming back with that CJ team. And what will we see from White Shield? Will they go with the Protect the Kog'Maw comp?
Could be. Again, this is mind gaming a little bit with the against Blue, who likes to run the Soraka Kog'Maw combo, and they were really the first team here in Korea to use that very well. So, and that'll be the lock-in. Sona, of course, Gorilla, a comfort pick for Gorilla, definitely. Yes. Thresh and Sona are his two main champions, and he doesn't have the biggest champion pool, at least at the competitive level, despite being a very highly ranked challenger player here in Korea. But great for Poke and Siege, and great for peeling for Kog'Maw. Now, there's the Yasuo, and that'll just be locked in, but the answer will be potentially that Kale.
Oh man.
For more Kog'Maw protection.
How many mind games can you throw into one pick and ban phase from White Shield?
Ooh, Syndra, I like this a lot, actually.
Just cycling through all the choices for Goo.
The problem with playing Syndra into Yasuo is he can block your ult.
Exactly. That's pretty devastating. He can block every single one of those. That may not be the best situation. Zed pick up, possibly, but yeah, KO would make the most sense. It fits with, you know, the Kog'Maw comp, and it also throws Blue off even more. I saw Coco play this. I can play it too. So Goong really trying to prove a point here. Goong turning into the new Faker. Whenever my opponent plays champion, I must pick it up and show it off the next game we meet.
I love it. This is a really good composition, though. Again, it's going to scale similarly to what we saw from Blaze in the last game. Save will be running the top lane Soraka, of course, but running it with
Frost, starting with all wards for Mad Life.
Yeah, Save did switch over to heal at the last second, so we will not be seeing Ignite Soraka, which would have been very strange.
Super aggressive.
Ooh, Goong is actually going for Ghost and Flash this game, so some different summoners. mixing it up, and I'm very curious how he's going to use these abilities. Of course, if you do build to Kayle, the issue with Kayle, of course, is that with the Hurricane build, she is very squishy.
Yes.
And so, with Ghost in a team fight, you can kite really efficiently with her with a Hurricane. And with everybody trying to dive into the composition of NaJin's shield, with Evelynn, Shyvana, and Yasuo all trying to get deep into the back line, it's going to be potentially quite a good pickup, even if he does lose some pressure in lane as a result.
Yeah, I do like that. Now, of course, that means only one exhaust for NaJin, so they're going to have to probably just put it on Coco no matter what, unless, of course, Space gets like a single flank or such assassination attempts in the middle of the game. Swift inching forward here, trying to see if he can get some eyes on Goong without being seen himself.
Yeah, this is pretty interesting here. It looks like Space and MadLife are going to want to go for the lane swap.
All right, and we're going to see Zephyr and Gorilla call them on that. So we will just see the duos in top. Well, Save sticking around the blue buff to help Watch start off on the blue, safe and sound. A pink ward placed by CJ Frost in the entrance to their blue buff.
Yeah, it looks like MadLife and Space actually are betting on the fact that there will be the duo in top. Otherwise, that would be somewhat of a risky red buff to take, because if Kog'Maw and Sona were on the bottom side, they don't have any wards, and a delayed invade could have actually really messed up CJ Frost right there, but they felt comfortable enough in that, I suppose. Still a little bit of a risky play, especially for a full ward start. I'm not sure how much I like that.
We just see some minor training, of course, only level 1. So Space and MadLife, but with that trade, Zephyr actually taking advantage of the positioning there to shove Space off of some last hits here. But trading going back and forth, the MadLife doing a lot of damage with Space onto Gorilla early.
Well, the lane is very squishy. That's the thing about Kog'Maw Sona is, yeah, you've got that sustain, you've got that poke, but it's rough.
Ooh, yeah, we're slowly turning even. Now Gorilla did have to take that Arya level 1 for the heal and, of course, the defense buffs, so they're not going to be able to trade as aggressively, but Zephyr's running pretty low. He actually gets bubbled. Space gets the slow. They get the level 2. Zephyr just hits level 2. Levels up to stay at similar health.
Yeah, they had to use 2 summoners, though, in exchange for only 1, so some good early aggression. You'll notice that they back off right away. They didn't have knowledge as to where the jungler started, so Watch could have been there. He could be there right now.
And Space is coming up, gets a slow onto Zephyr. Now turning his eyes onto Gorilla. Gorilla gets bubbled. Zephyr trying to chase Space away with that Void Ooze. Gorilla turning around, but we have Swift flanking around with the double buff. He might just make a double kill happen here. Flash is used by both. Swift chases through, gets first blood onto Gorilla.
Yeah, that was really well played by Swift. If we look at the setup for that gank, okay, so we knew that CJ Frost did not have knowledge over the jungler's start location. So there was a possibility that he went blue to red and would be up there at 3 minutes. However, Swift was standing in the tri-brush, and when he didn't come, they decided to make a play as the trading continued very favorably for CJ Frost. So it's the little things, but that was a very safe gank, actually, and you could tell how they play it out, given the knowledge that they have over the jungler's location.
Very nice to see clean play coming in and not getting greedy over the double kill. So Zephyr still, of course, both summoners down, and Swift now here to make sure that things are safe with Shy. We saw Watch here maybe looking for a gank opportunity, but lane was too shoved. And again, with Soraka there with the heal, don't really have the kill pressure this early.
Yeah, and Shy is getting decent farm under the turret right now. You can see using the burnout just to tap the minions just enough so that he can auto them after one turret hit. And he's kept up nicely, and he should feel pretty safe under that turret. Not a lot of kill pressure in his Soraka lane. It's mostly just annoying. And Coco and Goong going just about even right here.
Yeah, mid lane's been pretty quiet, but maybe not for long, as we do see both junglers converging here in the mid lane. Swift is just scouting things out to make sure things are safe, maybe looking for a counter gank, in fact, as Watch roams around. He is going to be spotted by the pink ward, and as he leaves the lane, Swift comes back in, but just to leave unseen. Or maybe wrap around, just taking his time. Might run right into, he's actually just going to go on to Goong with the knockup from Yasuo. They're going to blow both summoners from Goong at the same time.
Wow, that was a little bit of a panic, I think, but especially because Watch was there to use both summoners, but better safe than sorry. He does get out. Coco didn't have his ult yet, so wasn't able to keep him suspended. and finish off the kill. But Goom, you can tell how squishy he is early on. Going for that Codex right now. So pretty straightforward build. Just getting a little bit more AP damage early on. Coco used his Ignite, still got the flash up.
Yeah, and bottom lane we saw Shy just taking some hits in order to make sure that he can try to stay somewhat close in CS. He did have some pots still to go on, and in the top, we do see Space constantly just harassing Zephyr, pushing him back into the lane. But Zephyr actually keeping up very well in CS, despite having lost his support early on.
Yeah. So CJ can feel good about, I mean, both teams are going to feel fine. They're going to scale about equally into the late game, and then it's going to come down to a lot of positioning and team fights. But this is a very strange comp for NaJin White Shield to run. They haven't really done anything like this before. New champions coming out in terms of Soraka and Kale.
Watch is going to find Swift. So Swift is going to stick around, use his lens to clear that ward. But both junglers will back off as Coco gets some dirty farming done on those wolves we see on the map right now. And Twitch went back to get a Vamp Scepter before just waiting to finish his Cutlass and is returning to lane just about now.
Yeah, Zephyr, though, without that Vamp, he's going to have some issues. They're doing a good job of zoning right now. And there he goes, poke from the Spell Thief. Doing some damage to Mad Life, but you got to be careful. Zephyr actually has a level advantage. Yeah,
that time away from lane is hurting Space just a tad bit, but of course as the lane goes on, that Vamp Scepter is going to come into play. Both supports have some sustain for their AD carry, so we'll see how it all evens out. Mad Life is going to have to watch how he uses his mana in terms of harass and sustain, though.
Yeah, looks like everything's just about evened out here. You can see Save getting a lot of damage down onto the turret. Not really worrying about harassing Shy that much. Just shoving that minion wave straight on in and chipping ever so slowly away at that tower in the 1v1. NaJin, in spite of that early death, just A-okay. They haven't really fallen behind on farms. Zephyr's been doing a good job of that. And they're just staying far back right now.
Yeah, don't want to get caught by Swift once again. They haven't had vision of Swift in a little while, so staying back and then just picking up the farm as it comes in. Zephyr's still not too far behind in terms of CS. In fact, we'll catch up here with this wave, so not an issue at all. Puts some trade down onto Space. And Zephyr should be pretty happy about this for now. But we do see both junglers in the vicinity. Watch is going to finish that red buff. We'll see where he goes. Swift, in fact, will actually be moving down into the mid lane.
Just trading a little bit with the Bio-Arcane Barrage, where they back off, and the junglers really haven't been able to do much. There's not a lot of kill pressure in these lanes, actually, except for in top lane for CJ. Unlikely that you're going to be able to get a kill pre-6 for Gorilla. He needs that crescendo in order to lock somebody down. And there we go, teleport straight into the bottom lane again from Shy. He's now fallen behind in terms of CS. He'll catch that wave, 2,000 gold, and that'll be a Chalice and a Codex for Save as he comes back into lane.
Space had taken a little bit of a hit, but does get healed up by Mad Life's Nami. So top lane will just be equalized once again. Blue buff on Goong in the meanwhile. Goong once again, he got chased out, lost both his summoners, but Ghost is back up and he's doing just fine in CS. Not too concerned. Of course, Coco's been keeping up by dirty farming himself on the Wolves, while Goong has been working on the race on his side.
Yeah, in this game, CJ's really going to have to use the Twitch pick potential and the teleport to the fullest. That's how they're going to win, is by outmaneuvering their opponents here on the map and taking as much as they can after picking up a kill with the teleport or with an invisible Twitch, just surprising somebody. So while CJ will have a strong 5v5 as well, in the mid game, they really should focus on just trying to get the Kog'Maw, gank him while they can, or take down Kale in order to create pressure and get a global gold lead, because otherwise, Save is just going to have an easy time taking down turret after turret by himself, or the 5-man group with all that disengage. Maybe seeing a very similar game to what Blaze showed us last time.
Ooh, Watch is here in the bottom lane, but Swift calling them on this one and heading straight to this 1v1 lane. Now again, not that much kill pressure by Watch and Save, and Swift is going to run right into Watch. Watch sees him first, he doesn't hit the Sonic Wave. and we just won't see a fight happen. They will pressure it in. We'll see if they want to take this tower, but a new wave is here just in time for CJ. Swift pretty low, though, so as long as they know that Coco is nowhere near, I think Save and Watch are pretty comfortable just shoving this lane up once again.
Yeah, there's not really anything they can do. Save is itemized with some MR first, which will negate the damage coming out of Shy and Swift, really.
Oh, so. Shy still starts the fight just to secure that tower, and they're actually going to go in with Agony's Embrace. The heals come in, Save just trying to run away. Meanwhile, Goong picks up a kill in top with a dive, and we're going to see Gorilla survive Zephyr continuing to just pick up that kill. Shy gets really low, does not get taken out the final banana, not strong enough, but they get a kill onto Swift as Coco comes in to clean the fight. Can he catch up to Watch, though? Shy trying to run up and doesn't hit the E. Watch still at okay health to not die from Shyvana, but Coco still chasing through. Coco does have that static shiv.
Yeah, he's got
oh, he's going to flash over, but we do see a continued flash from Watch, and then he ward jumps onto his own ward, and Watch will go down to Ignite.
Yeah, the Q right there was a little not good. He may have been able to make it over to the Wolf Pit, actually, on that escape. So let's take a look at what we saw up in the top lane, just a standard dive. Ooh. Wow, great flash crescendo from Gorilla, and very Bad nice. Life melts instantly. There's the Wish coming in exactly the right time, by the way. Just fortunate that they were making aggressive plays on both lanes. So that Wish was really valuable, not only for the bottom lane gank that was happening, that they did turn around at least into one kill, and then helping out top as well, making sure that everybody was going to stay alive under the turret dive. Shield will take slight lead off of that.
Oh, but Swift comes in, Tidal Wave hits Zephyr, and Gorilla without the crescendo cannot save his AD carry. Really no escape for Kog'Maw at that point. Flash was also down, so just gets bubbled and taken out by Swift.
Yeah, Frost taking very good advantage of that timing window. They know what they have to do. They've got to keep that Kog'Maw down now, and they're successful at it. NaJin, Shield will go ahead on the other side of the map, take a dragon.
Yeah, so both teams just responding back and forth. Now Coco does have 2 kills, but Goong just trying to bait them into a fight. And the wind wall not doing much against Kale for now, but Save gets just battered by Shy. Shy now caught amidst the enemy team. Watch does go in for the 1v1 duel. Meanwhile, Save picks up a kill onto Swift. Evelyn's still a little bit too squishy. And NaJin White Shield will turn straight back to Dragon now that they have 4 people, and they'll take it pretty safely this time around.
Yeah, really good turn there from NaJin Shield. Pick up a kill as well as getting the drag, so they continue to increase their gold lead. Zephyr gets some farm to actually catch up to in the mid lane, so everything going quite nicely for them.
Yeah, that was a really nice bait by Goong, baiting 2 people in and then actually not even having to use intervention on himself, but using it on Save. Let's look at that again.
Yeah, and he just maneuvers over past the side of the wind wall right there and finds Shy, but they just collapse on him, slow him down, and that gives him good time to finish off this Evelyn. And I love how they don't chase right here either. Just go back, take the dragon, the more valuable objective at the time, and play it a little safe, play it a little more conservatively.
Yeah, White Shield just so aware of what to prioritize in the game. Of course, that's been how they've been winning a lot of their games. So Save just farming alone, 2-1-1, feeling pretty good about himself. We have had that finish Nashor's Tooth for a little while on Goong. Now with Sork Shoes, so not going for the Berserker Greaves that Coco has shown us.
Ooh. Nice.
Meanwhile, Goong is going to get bubbled. That's just going to allow Swift and Coco to run away safe and sound.
Yeah, they were too scared, though, of any follow-up. They didn't have vision over the enemy jungle, so they didn't want to go in and take a risk onto Goong right there. And, of course, the tower up, they have been too much in taking some shots, and that'll be another ward denied. So 2 pinks protected well by NaJin Shield. Shy is free farming up in the top lane, trying to make up some of that farm deficit that he picked up. And Save will be going for the Rylai's this game right after the Chalice.
All right. So we'll see some points, of course. Shy, how much can he catch up? How useful can he be in that next team fight? That was how Save brought the game back for Shield on Monday. His Kha'Zix was completely shut down, but he farmed up quietly throughout the map, made it work, and this time he's showing up to make sure he's just a constant annoyance to Shy. And of course, Save can shut down that teleport with a silence, so should feel pretty good about blocking this split push / freeze attempt. by Shyvana.
Yeah, they really need to start grouping up and putting some pressure down. And if you'll notice what they've broke.
Uh-oh, Zephyr gets caught way off guard, gets bubbled. There is a nice crescendo, but a tidal wave to follow up, and Zephyr gets locked down. Gorilla also in trouble. Does not go down just yet, but Space flashes forward. The poison not going to take Gorilla down.
Nope, there's the heal.
Yep, just in time. Of course, the pot was also taking for Gorilla. Goong showing up to protect the tower. But Mad Life, really good call on saving that tidal wave and using it during the crescendo stun, for he was not stunned himself.
That was really good timing of abilities from Mad Life right there. Knowing that the crescendo was coming in, he backed off in order to use the tidal wave. You're absolutely right to pick that up. And I like what we're seeing from NaJin's Shield, though, as well. They've gone ahead and put Goong into a side lane and let this Kog'Maw farm mid. He's safest there. It's a short lane. He did just die, of course, but it's still the right decision about where to put him in this game at the given time. And KL should be doing very well in that any kind of duel that will happen in a side lane. So,
yep. Meanwhile, we did see a 3-man push here in mid. Goong takes a lot of damage, but will just escape with double heals from himself and Soraka. Meanwhile, Coco will take down the tier 1 in bot, and Zephyr now sent up to the top lane to try to farm safely.
Yeah, it's also smart for Frost to put Twitch in the mid lane, not only because he's got that good wave clear, but Twitch in mid puts a lot more pressure on the rest of the map, because if he disappears from mid for a second, everybody gets very scared that he's about to ambush the side lanes. So it maximizes kind of the psychological value of a Twitch being on your team.
Absolutely. Now Zephyr just keeping this lane right around his side of the jungle so he doesn't have to extend too far, but still making sure that he picks up all the CS that Shy pushes back up. And now trading places with Save. Save returning to meet Shy in that top lane, but Shy's already gone. We do see Kog'Maw returning to mid. The mid tier 1s are both still standing, and NaJin have their eyes set right here. Mad Life taking a lot of damage, but gets bubbled again. Zephyr just getting caught left and right. Intervention used preemptively to protect Zephyr, but it was absolutely a save attempt. No free damage there.
They used both intervention and the exhaust.
The Agony's Embrace comes in, but a nice silence from Save is going to keep Swift from chasing. And Coco will have to run away from that scary-looking KO. Now 5 men here, but that means Shy can freely teleport. Teleport is up. No silence up there to stop him from moving.
There's not a good ward for him to teleport to right now. So
nice wind wall.
They just want to hold on as long as they can. Zephyr will be able to dodge that, and this is looking a lot like last game.
Indeed. Yeah, we're going to see NaJin just slowly tick away at these towers. They will take the tier 1. Now Shy, what's this call here? He's just going to keep shoving, it seems, down to that tier 2. No, he's going to port back home. Needs to come in to help defend this tier 2, or else they will lose it seems. Already down to half health. Just another wave is all they need. Watch and Save, making sure to be annoying. Save the only one caught, but there we go. Coco jumps in. The tower is already down. There's the Wish very early. Swift really low. Shy has to teleport in just to save his teammates, but he's also down to half health. NaJin White Shield successfully pushing CJ Frost back once again.
You have to flank here, and the big mistake that Frost is making is they're not getting enough wards kind of down the lane behind NaJin in order for Shy to come in from behind or from the side. Because if they can get that, if they can minimize the peel from Crescendo, especially before Save finishes the Rylai's, that's the time to strike. But they didn't get it. They're not getting it done. And they're going to miss that window, because when Save gets the Rylai's, this changes entirely, and it's going to be even more difficult for them to flank. But yeah, you really have to be careful in that situation so that you can get onto that back line and blow up the cog as fast as possible. They're trying, though.
Oh, Swift wants to run in, but doesn't have Agony's Embrace. They do catch Save, but there's the intervention. Save is very healthy right now, and Shy gets slowed down by Goong. But NaJin White Shield playing so smart. They have no interest in fighting. Tidal Wave doesn't catch anyone, but there is a bubble. Catches Save. Coco jumps in. A nice crescendo will save him as Save flashes out. And now Zephyr and Gorilla are in trouble. Can their teammates come back to save them in return? No, Gorilla will be sacrificed, but Save and Zephyr still alive and well.
Yeah, the Tidal Wave did do a good job of zoning out, but other than that, I mean, the heals are just getting a little bit too much. And again, that's Shy not coming in at the best possible angle right there. He didn't have a whole lot of choice. Now, they did pick up a kill, but they're not converting this into any objective, really. Coco just going to farm out the bottom wave. Let's take a look at this again. So Shy comes in, and actually, they couldn't use the last breath because of the Kale ult onto Soraka. There's the Tidal Wave. And now they nearly are able to pick up Save, try to knock it down, but the heal just a little bit too easy for Save. Now they are going to transition this. Gorilla has no mana, no ultimate.
Yeah, Coco flashing forward to pick up that kill, but as you mentioned, doesn't transfer to anything else. The Rylai is now finished for Save. And NaJin White Shield, that was the thing. They had so much gold during that fight. That's why they weren't interested in fighting. And we see parts of a Lich Bane coming out for Goong, and they're going to try to chase through, but watch, cannot follow thanks to a nice bubble from Madlife. Madlife's been pretty on point for Frost this game. Goong just going to go ahead and tank a little bit until the minions get there.
Yeah, the Lich Bane really is just to kill towers extremely quickly. They're trying to turn this into a siege comp that can push as fast as it possibly can, and that Sheen really going to help out.
Yeah, it is going to do quite a bit of work, so it's not going to be that build that Coco has been showing us, but just...
Well, not yet.
Not yet, but not in the order, rather, and just working on what works best for them right now. Madlife already down below half health. And all 5 members here once again. Teleport is down, so Shy also locked up here in the top lane. And it's just going to be a repeat of what we saw in the mid lane. Flank's not happening thanks to some nice warning from NaJin. There's the pink ward. It will be taken out. 3-man Agony's embraced by Swift, but can they get the tidal wave onto Zephyr? No, they don't hit it. And also the Shyvana ult not hitting anybody, so Coco cannot jump through with last breath. A double bubble, and he finally goes in, locks him up, but Save and Goong, massive heals coming in from everyone. Wish also used, and a crescendo locks up Madlife and Coco. Can NaJin pick up kills? Zephyr gets one with Save, and Goong also chasing up, and it's just a massacre as NaJin White Shield picks up a team ace against CJ, while they still have 3 members alive.
Yeah, the most unfortunate thing about this composition is that with Shyvana and Evelynn, these are the champions you want to play against what NaJin is running. These are the champions that can really get onto your flanks, but they're not able to do it. The ward coverage has been good on the flanks from NaJin. You can see how they're putting the pink wards down to make sure they can watch that Evelynn, and Madlife didn't get the best tidal wave there. They kited it out too early, and this will be a free Baron for NaJin White Shield, and they are looking good.
Yeah, they played that out very well. Save gunning a little bit low, but yeah, they're just going to now let Zephyr tank it at the very end, and Baron buff onto all 5 members of White Shield. Things are looking pretty dark for CJ Frost right now.
Yeah, the Rylai is doing a lot of work in that last fight as well. Really the key item that contributed to that success, because they were just a tad bit short of getting into that back line, and had it been a little bit more successful, it would have looked pretty different, and had either the Shyvana ults or the Nami ults happen, the last breath would have been a lot earlier, and maybe, just maybe, Coco would have been able to burst somebody down. Now, in this situation, I'm not sure the blade is the best item for Yasuo. And here we go. Yeah, just coming in again, and they just run straight at it. That's not going to work. And there you go. The Rylai is just slowing everybody down. Shy just a little bit short. And it was a really good bubble that allowed the Yasuo ult to happen. But again, the kiting, the AoE from Twitch also just not quite hitting them. And then they're able to quite easily turn it around and then turn it into a Baron.
And really good targeting from the team of White Shield too, leaving Zephyr to clean out the right side of the fight, while the crescendo is followed up by Lee Sin and Kayle, and Save coming in right behind. So just very, very aware team fighting. I mean, White Shield has grown so much as a team.
Yeah, the Blade of the Ruined King, this is very interesting in this situation, because normally you would want this on Yasuo. However, in this circumstance, you probably just want to burst as hard as possible and accept the fact that you're going to die, because you should have faith that Shyvana and Kayle can clean up if you can actually kill the
Oh,
Hog.
Swift gets a nice flank, but way too ahead of his teammates. We do see the last breath coming in, but Zephyr is protected by intervention, and Zephyr not being targeted right now. Shy has to run away, goes down, and Gorilla looking to turn things around. Save gets knocked up, but there's no damage to follow. Space gets chased down by Kayle in a double kill, and Coco, the only one alive, has to run away from his base to port back. Zephyr looking calm and cool with full health as they take out an inhibitor. Is White Shield looking to end the game? Looks like it, aggressively pushing forward. Swift up in 3, but other members still 10 seconds left with the heals. They're just going to go ahead and tank it. Coco taking a ton of damage from Goong. Even that wind wall isn't going to save him, and Zephyr just going to take him up from the side. Gorilla moving on forward to keep people zoned out, and White Shield ending the game at 25 minutes with their Kog'Maw composition here. as Zephyr, the only one constantly beating on this Nexus, while his teammates keep him protected.
And there we go, splitting 1-1, so we will be going into that Masters match. NaJin wins, they'll be headed to the next round of the playoffs. If CJ wins, then we'll play another Masters game as a final.